What if one act of defiance could change the course of history? Meet Rosa Parks, a woman of quiet courage and extraordinary resolve. Born in the early 20th century, she lived in an era marked by segregation, prejudice, and widespread racial discrimination in the United States. It was a time when the color of your skin determined your place in society and the privileges you were entitled to. One fateful day, Rosa Parks, a black seamstress, made a decision that would send shockwaves through the nation. On a bus in Montgomery, Alabama, she refused to give up her seat to a white passenger. This simple act of defiance became a pivotal moment in the fight for racial equality, igniting the civil rights movement and inspiring countless individuals to stand up against injustice. A symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope, Rosa Parks showed the world the power of saying no. Rosa Parks was just the beginning of her journey. If you're enjoying this video and want to learn more about inspiring figures in history, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Rosa Parks' courage was rooted in her early life experiences. Born in Tuskegee, Alabama in the year 1913, Rosa Louise Macaulay, who we now know as Rosa Parks, was no stranger to the harsh realities of racial discrimination. From a young age, she witnessed the severity of racial segregation in the South, a bitter reality that was all too common in the Jim Crow era. Her early life was marked by these experiences, shaping her beliefs and instilling in her an unshakable resolve to fight for equality. Her parents, Leona and James Macaulay, were both former slaves, and their stories of hardship further fueled Rosa's determination to challenge racial injustice. Education played a significant role in her life, and despite the numerous obstacles she faced, Rosa managed to earn her high school diploma, a rare achievement for African American women at the time. Rosa's early experiences with racial discrimination laid the foundation for her later activism. In 1955, a simple act of defiance ignited a revolution. This revolution began on an ordinary Thursday, December 1st, when Rosa Parks boarded a Montgomery City bus after a long day of work. As the bus filled up, Rosa, seated in the colored section, was asked to give up her seat to a white passenger. But she refused. This was not an act of fatigue, as some might think, but an act of resistance. That night, Rosa was arrested for violating the city's racial segregation laws, but her action ignited a spark that would set the world ablaze. Word of Rosa's arrest spread quickly, and by the next day, plans were already in motion for a citywide bus boycott. At the helm of this protest was a young pastor named Martin Luther King Jr., who became a prominent figure in the civil rights movement. The Montgomery Bus Boycott wasn't just a day or two of inconvenience for the city. It was a prolonged, strategic act of civil disobedience. For 381 days, African Americans in Montgomery walked to work, carpooled, or rode in taxis that charged the same fare as buses. They braved the elements and faced harassment, even violence, but they did not waver. The boycott took a toll on the city's public transit system and local businesses. The pressure was mounting and the city had to take notice. On November 13, 1956, the Supreme Court ruled that bus segregation was unconstitutional, a major victory for the civil rights movement and a testament to the power of peaceful protest. Rosa's refusal to give up her seat and the subsequent boycott were more than acts of defiance. They were statements to the world that African Americans would no longer tolerate second-class citizenship. Her courage inspired others to stand up against injustice, not just in Montgomery but across the nation. Rosa Parks' arrest was a catalyst for change, sparking a movement that would transform a nation. Her legacy reminds us that sometimes the simplest acts can have the most profound impacts. Rosa Parks' activism didn't end with the Montgomery Bus Boycott. Quite the contrary, the spark of defiance that she ignited only grew brighter. The years following the boycott saw Rosa Parks fervently engaged in the civil rights movement, fighting tirelessly against the injustices of racial segregation. Parks' role in the movement extended beyond her iconic act of resistance on that fateful bus ride. She also worked closely with the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP, for over a decade. As a dedicated member, Parks served as both the secretary and the youth leader for the Montgomery chapter, fostering the next generation of civil rights activists. But her influence wasn't just local. Parks played a significant role in the March on Washington in August of 1963, standing alongside other civil rights leaders as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his historic "I Have a Dream" speech. Her quiet strength and steadfast resolve echoed throughout the crowd, amplifying the call for equality and justice. In her later years, Parks continued to advocate for civil rights, even as she faced personal challenges. Despite suffering financial and health difficulties, she remained an unwavering beacon of hope and resilience. Parks never stopped speaking out, never stopped standing up against discrimination and racial injustice. On October 24, 2005, Rosa Parks passed away peacefully in her sleep. Her death marked the end of an era, but not the end of her influence. In the wake of her passing, thousands gathered to pay their respects to the woman who, with a single act of defiance, had changed the course of history. Even in death, Parks continues to inspire. Her legacy is carried on by every person who stands up against injustice, every individual who refuses to be silenced, every voice that echoes her courageous "no." She remains a symbol of resistance, a testament to the power of peaceful protest, and a beacon of hope for millions. Rosa Parks' legacy continues to inspire millions around the world. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that change begins with a single act of courage, a single voice saying no to injustice. Rosa Parks' impact extends far beyond that moment on the Montgomery bus. Her enduring legacy is woven into the fabric of our nation's history. A quiet seamstress from Montgomery, Alabama, Parks became the catalyst for a movement that would transform the United States and echo around the world. Her refusal to give up her seat was not just a protest against segregation, it was a powerful statement of human dignity. This act of civil disobedience sparked the Montgomery Bus Boycott, a pivotal event in the civil rights movement, and led to the end of segregation on public transportation nationwide. But Rosa Parks' legacy is not confined to this one act. She remains an enduring symbol of resistance, inspiring generations to stand up for their rights and fight against injustice. Her courage and determination continue to inspire those who strive for equality and social justice. Over the years, Parks was honored with numerous awards and recognitions. Her bravery and dedication to the cause of civil rights were recognized at the highest levels of government. In 1996, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the United States, by President Bill Clinton. And in 2000, Parks was granted another prestigious honor, the Congressional Gold Medal, the highest civilian award bestowed by the United States Congress. These accolades speak volumes about the profound impact of Parks's actions on our nation's history. But perhaps the true measure of Rosa Parks' legacy can be found in the hearts and minds of those she inspired. From students staging sit-ins to activists marching for equality, her influence lives on in every individual who chooses to stand up against injustice. Rosa Parks showed us that one person can make a difference. She is a testament to the power of standing up for what is right even when it's not easy.